Something happened.
Oh, 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 oh. Ooh, oh, oh, oh. Oh, 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 oh. Whoa, whoa,
Well, welcome to another episode of Girl Talk. Woo! I have two beautiful ladies that's joining me today. I have Jody Berry and I have Miss Rain. And you know what? This is like a combination of what is it a combination of? It's a combination of girl power. It's a combination of women who know where they are, where they're going. And this lady is an entrepreneur. This lady is a what do you call it? The entrepreneurs that does it forever. Serial entrepreneur. So, ladies, welcome to the show. I'm so excited to have y'all here. So, this lady, Jody, tell people who you are and what you do.
Absolutely. And thank you, Cami, for having us on today. I'm really excited to be here. I have a current life and a past life. In my current life, I work on Morneyberry Farm, and I'm an executive director. I also I'm the treasurer for the Morney Foundation Community Development Corporation, and we do a lot of educational tours, things to promote the community, giving information about Black farmers, our history in owning a farm since 1876. And I also have Berry Properties. I am a landlord, so I'm the owner of that property company. And I am the PTA president for my son's school, KB Polk, which is a community school.
I love KB Polk.
I know, you know about KB Polk, right?
Okay, and Miss Rain, tell people who you are and what you do.
Thank you for having me, Cami.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Special. I feel fabulous here. I do. My name is Rain Braswell, and I own Renewed by Rain, which is a refashion design boutique.
Nice.
Yes.
Refashion. So tell me about refashion.
So basically, refashion is finding an existing piece of clothing, some type of garment, and then I tear it apart. I add stuff to it. I paint it. I just transform it into a new garment. And I also do furniture.
Nice. Yeah. Oh, you know what I like already.
I just paint everything pink and put fur on it. Wonderful.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so guys, this episode of Girl Talk, it's all about us being who we are, right? Mm-hmm. So we are entrepreneurs, we are community leaders, we are people who's making things happen in the community today. So I think it's very important that we work together, and also self-healing is important too, yes, right? Yes. And so that's what we're going to cover today. So our topic today, y'all ready?
We're ready.
You ready?
We're ready.
Women, African-American women, talk the talk, but do they actually walk the walk? Hello? Do they actually walk the walk? So that's what we want to talk about. And we are playing on the girl thing, right? Mm-hmm. You know, right. We girls, we stick together, we help one another, we this and we that. But really, is that what you're doing? Is that really what everybody's doing? Yeah. You know, so you got people who say, oh, I'm helping you, Jody, and Jody didn't have any groceries, but I'm going to get on social media and I helped Jody and she didn't have any food and da-da-da-da-da-da. You know, what is that? Right. How are you helping people and you bragging about it?
Yeah.
Is that really helping us? Is that really helping the people who you supposed to be helping? Come on, y'all, talk to me. Jody, what you
Well, you know what? In you putting that out there, since we live in a social media world and everything has to be filmed and everything is there's not a sense of privacy anymore. So whereas when you did things with goodwill and great intentions previously, no one knew about it. Maybe the person, you and the person, or maybe someone else who helped you to put it together. But now the environment that we live in, it's where everything has to be filmed, everything has to be televised, everything has to be talked about. So is it really from the spirit of goodwill, or is it for the likes? Is it for the gram? So is it for the books? That's the thing that is unfortunate within our society that I see. We don't do things just because we want to help people. There has to be someone following us and capturing it and saying how great we are. So that's how I see that.
Yeah, I think it's terrible. I really do. But I don't know. What do you think, Ray?
It's so lonely. It's pitiful because it's very much every man, or in this case, every woman for herself. And I think that it really, and we were talking offline about the fact that a lot of times we are pitted against each other, women of color. There's only room for one such and so. So whatever industry you're in, it's like there's only room. So because I think we have been pretty much prompted to think that it's either me or you, then how can I help you? Because I'm too busy trying to help myself. If I help you, what happens to me?
Yeah. What about me?
What about me?
Effie, what about me?
Yes. That's exactly
What about
right.
me?
That's exactly. So we're afraid to help each other.
Well,
We're afraid to lift each other up. We're not taught that. I wasn't taught that, really, to be honest. That's not something that I really saw other women do.
Yeah.
And full transparency, I used to hear the stuff my mama was saying about people behind their back.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, who can you trust?
Yeah.
Right.
I think, that's funny that you say moms.
Mhm.
I remember my mom doing that too. I remember her, the neighbor, but let me tell you, my mom had a good heart.
Mhm.
And so my mom was the person, I guess I should do this. My mom was the person who would feed the bums. So she makes this good meal and you thinking you're going to get leftovers, but you're not going to get leftovers because she's going to pack everything up and she's going to take it to the corner and she's going to feed the bums.
Right.
She was that type of person, but she was funny and she talked about people. She did.
Yeah.
She'd talk about your knock knees or my mom was just funny. She was going to make you laugh, but she did talk about you. And then if it was said quiet as kept, she'll tell you in your face too. That's how she was. So I can appreciate that better than someone being malicious and talking behind my back. I can appreciate that way better than, I helped Cammie get her car fixed. She didn't have the money, and then you have to go back and talk about it.
Yeah.
I'd rather you not help me.
Don't even bother.
Right.
I'd rather you not help me, because if I'm going to feel bad because someone's supposed to who's been supportive of me to help me, but they're making me feel like it's dirty now.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I know not to ask that person for help anymore.
Right. And you know what? I think that comes from what both of you ladies are saying. It has to be taught. It's what you're taught. So for me, when I do things for people, I think of how I would want someone in turn if it was reversed. So
Right.
a lot of times I don't think people think about that, because there always will come a day for all of us that you need some help. I don't care, from the highs to the lowest lows. Everybody is going to have a time where they're going to need some help. And you have to think about, when you get ready to say something about someone, how would you feel if that was you? And that's a simple thing that we were taught. But people don't, they don't really think about that in that moment. Because either, they're building themselves up while they're tearing you down. But that's really not what it's about. That is actually not what the gift of life is about. Because even when you think about being brought out of another life, that is a gift. So everything that you do and when you go forward, you should do it with goodness and kindness and goodwill.
Yeah.
So I would like to know how y'all think that people can rectify that or change that or make that better, because I don't know. You know.
Yeah, that's a point, Jody. You got a point. Um, people can people can change if they're willing to change. But a lot of the problem is they don't see that they're the problem. You know, they don't see that person in the mirror. How can you wake up in the morning knowing that you hurt someone? How can you wake up in the morning knowing that you're being mean? You know, I'm just gonna be mean to this person just because I want to be mean to this person. Right? So how can you wake up not knowing? Okay, answer this question: why are people killing themselves? Why are people like the Walmart shooting? You know, that person was bullied.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
People push people into those things. You know, it's a mental issue thing, true enough. But COVID made everybody crazy at this point. You know, but you have to be mindful. You don't know what the next person is going through.
Right.
And so if you're gonna take some kindness and turn it nasty, why do that?
Mm-hmm.
So it comes within yourself. So is that person needing some healing? You know,
Yeah.
do you need not to be a bully anymore? How many stories have we seen where the bullies end up being nice because somebody looked into what their real problem was?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
so
But I
don't know.
think that's what it comes down to is really if you and I just recently learned this at my big age. If you sit and evaluate why it is that why you feeling the way you're feeling. For example, if okay, so say you ask me to come on the show, and I say I don't want to go on her show. I don't like him. I don't like the way she conducts her show. That's what I think I'm feeling, right? So
Mhm.
I choose not to do it.
Right.
If I sit down, is it possible that I don't want to do your show because I haven't stepped out and done my show? And so I look at you and now I'm intimidated. You know what I mean? I'm feeling my esteem is trash.
Mhm.
And pride will keep you from really getting to the bottom of what your problem is.
Mhm.
Because if I really sat and was honest with myself, I could realize I just feel bad that I haven't done mine yet. And the opportunity for you to help me would be for me to come to you and be like, this I've been trying to do this. Can you mentor me? Can you show me how? But that pride will come in,
Mhm.
and now I don't like her. Her show is this. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it becomes really sometimes not helping each other is from a place of fear, low self-esteem, feeling intimidated by each other.
Yeah.
That's my 2 cents. I just feel like that happens a lot, especially with us.
Yeah.
We
No.
intimidate each other a lot.
I
And I don't think we're really accustomed to building and really, I mean, it is now I will say it is becoming more um common now to be able to look at another woman and compliment her. I'm noticing that that's happening. Girl, you wearing that hat or whatever the case, just a stranger passing in the store.
Yeah.
But then there's also that opportunity to she thinks she cute. No, you're intimidated because this woman is fly.
And she ain't said nothing.
And
You
you
said
said
it.
that's you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
It depends on how you're carrying it. Can you just really tune in for a minute? Be like, dang, I need to, I might need to find out who her stylist is.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Stop hating on her.
Let me just tell you now, I don't know if it's like the sign of the times. I'm looking at you, Jody. I don't know if it's the sign of the times or, you know, like I said, the COVID issue thing, right? But I do know we're from Texas.
Right.
And moving here to Virginia, the people are totally different. It's like I can say how I met Jody.
Mhm.
I had a kids program and I needed help.
Right.
And I reached out to Jody, her sister. I mean, we all pulled together, our whole community pulled together for our cheerleading and dance program,
Mhm.
our mentoring program for the boys and the girls. We had 4 things going on. And everybody, I mean, the kids spent the night over there, the kids spent the
Yeah.
night over, and we pulled together. If the parent didn't have money for a cheerleading costume or a dance costume, guess what? All our kids look good, didn't they?
They did. And we chipped in however we had to make that happen for all the kids.
Wow.
Let me tell you,
Yeah.
Wow.
I put out an ad just this week, last week, I think, to get T-shirts for the Pee Wee Podcast kids. I didn't
Mhm.
get not one donation. Not
Wow.
one donation.
Man, we're looking bad.
You know,
Mhm.
not one
Yes.
donation. And I'm like, these are your children. This is a STEM program for your kids that's
But
costing you pretty
I
much
want
nothing.
I
Go
will
ahead.
say this, Kimmy, I'm sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to
Oh, you know.
interject in reference to what you're talking about. Now, being the PTA president, um, the school is phenomenal. Um, but with the PTA membership, they chip in for certain things. But there are certain aspects like getting people to come in and do the volunteering. A lot of those things I do on my own.
Oh
So
well.
sometimes it's also where people are in the stage of their life, what they can do. Some people can give, like here they're giving money and donations, but I'm not getting the actual bodies to come in
Mm-hmm.
and help,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm always short and I'm always trying to find people. So sometimes it can be that you have to look at what in the demographics they're able to do and pull from that. But
Yeah.
going piggybacking on what you're talking about is very important. When you said, is it COVID? Things have changed. I talked to a person today, and there were two different incidents where women, grown women, 40 and over, have gotten into physical altercations. One was in a raw store, and the other one was on a cruise ship. And I feel that there's a short switch now since COVID that people have. They don't have that level of care and of acceptance of differences, and even in that being able to carry on. I don't have to fight you if you don't want to do it, and if you want to take that, I'm gonna move on down here. People aren't like that anymore. Now they're like, I'm gonna fight you over that, and I'm gonna whoop you for that. That's that's not what we should be doing as grown people, because there are children that are watching.
Right. Right.
So I don't know. I kind of agree with you about the change in temperament with COVID. I do. I feel that people have changed a lot.
Now, so with that being said, is there anything we can do about it, or no? Is this just something that we got to ride with the time? We couldn't do nothing about COVID.
True.
No. Yeah.
It had to take its course.
Right.
Even not now, if you get sick with a cold, you don't know what the difference is.
Right.
No,
Right.
are you getting ready to fight the allergies, or are you getting ready to fight COVID?
Yeah.
Which
Right.
one do you have when you wake up in the morning, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then
Right.
you get to work and people treat you like, oh my gosh, I just had a cold.
Mm.
Now they
That's
all
true.
like, get away from me.
Got the plan.
Yeah, you sneeze. Come on, y'all know it. You go to the
Yes.
That's
restaurant,
true. That's true.
You feel all the
looking at
miles on you.
I just cleared my throat. You know. So, is this society now? Is this life?
uh, ooh, I am hoping not. I the thing about it is, when I'm a Gen Xer, so um I'm at an age where it's like you should be set in stone kind of your temperament. But when I just was talking about the people that that I was referencing, one was 50 and one was in her early to mid 40s, and that is my generation. And you know, 5 years ago people wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
They would shoulder it. So I don't know. I really don't know. I'm praying that it's not going to be something that is set in stone moving forward. That we're going to go back to the Stone Ages. You know. But
Lord.
I'm serious because y'all, I mean, drag a woman by her hair. They actually, there was an article talking about that women from the ages of 20 to 30 are in more danger from suicide, which is something Cammie you touched on, um, uh, homicide, and there was one other thing. Then they have since the silent generation. It's been, I think, it was about four. I think it was World War II. So about 8 decades ago, that women had to have this kind of fear for things happening to them. So, I don't know what the answer is or solution to it. I'm glad we're talking about it. And maybe you all could, again, give me some insight in what you think we could do, because I'm not sure what we can do. Just modeling and
Yeah.
showing people that you don't have to act like that. But outside of that, and praying, that's
Yeah.
all I can think of.
Yeah, you're absolutely
Yeah,
right.
at all times. A lot of it, I think, is, we got to address mental health. Mental health always needs to be, you always kind of need to, even if you're just doing a self check.
Mm-hmm.
And I know people are starting to even check in with each other now,
Mm-hmm.
like, are you all right? Because somebody that's really all right ain't going to just fight another lady in Ross.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
You're not fighting about this shirt. It's something else going on,
Right.
right? I mean,
Yes.
that's not normal.
No,
But
I agree.
I've seen I've seen stuff since I've been here, and maybe because of the business that I'm in, I get to see more people, in leasing and different people trying to get their business going and things like that. That a lot of times people are not educated in the way that we were, so you can't expect everyone to be, some people have the street sense and
Mm-hmm.
you don't have that. You know what I mean? So sometimes the I want to say the demographics are different in a certain way. Some people know about the streets. Some people can't make it in the streets because they
Right.
don't know about the streets, right?
True.
Right.
Like I'm a real sweet person, but I can't be a real sweet person because people take advantage of that. So I have to be a different person. So why do I have to change me to fit the society? But it goes back to who moved my cheese.
God, I haven't thought about
And
it.
someone had to give me that book for me to realize that I am new in a different state, even though it hadn't been this bad because I got here and COVID happened. But in those other states that I was in, it wasn't this bad. But since I've been here in Virginia, COVID did happen. And so now my ways of living and what I'm used to and the stuff that we had, Jody, when
Right.
I was in Dallas, we had family and bond no matter who you were. When I was a kid, I go somewhere I'm not supposed to go. They were picking up the phone, calling my grandmother, Coco, not what she's supposed to be. She's supposed to be at the college somewhere. People were a village.
Right.
It's not a village anymore.
But that's a change in the times, Cammy. That was, Virginia was like that in the 70s and 80s. You go outside and everybody is white. You were allowed to actually leave.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I was growing up in Chesapeake, we had it was a big neighborhood, but we didn't have to stay in our yard.
See,
we didn't have to stay on our street. We had that whole complex, and it was a huge group of kids. And all the adults knew all the kids, knew everybody's family. So I think, for you, I think it's probably a combination platter because you did come to a new place, but you didn't know Virginia pre-COVID. So it's like that combination of the whole world is different since COVID.
Yes.
And you have a new location. So that's a lot for you to try to take in and expect what you left. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's a combination, in that regard.
And so looking at that, now I can maneuver a little bit better. Now that I know that really did apply to me. At first, I didn't think it applied to me. But then when I started thinking about it, I'm like, okay, well, that's the whole moral of the story. You moving into that environment. So you kind of have to fit in that environment because this is what they do,
Right.
So now, with that being said, so I just saw that a gang member was put in jail for a long time because a gang member wanted to get out and they beat her. So that's scary. So you got your young people doing things. Now that we always had the Bloods, we always had the Crips, we always had that, but
Right.
it's worse now. First it was territory.
Yeah.
Now it's property, human property. If you want to quit the game, you can't quit the game. What's that, Nino Brown? You know what I mean? But all this kind of stuff you have to take into consideration. So okay, I don't want to be a part of this anymore.
Well, no,
So I'm afraid of it.
There was never any getting out once you.
No, that's
once
true.
you out.
No, there it was with gangs. It's never been a way of getting out, and they have to jump you in. Yeah.
In by blood, out by blood type of thing.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Right.
So that's scary.
Yeah.
So that's still going on top of everything else. You still got that going on. You still got racism going on
Right.
top of everything else. So I say all that to say is, why can't we bond together and be one because everybody else is bonding together? Why can't African American sisters bond together?
Well, I will say this. I think we have a unique set of circumstances that other groups don't have. Just being honest. When you look at the transatlantic slave trade and how that took place, and as we know, they dropped people off all along the way from Brazil, Cuba, Puerto Rico, all of these other places, and then of course to the Americas. And in that, all of those other places I've mentioned, including ones I didn't, like Jamaica and Paraguay, Uruguay, all of those places, the people of African descent have had a chance to heal and bond and become more cohesive with even within the culture that they are part of. In the Americas, we do not have that, and we have never had that. And that presents a different dynamic to why someone will look at you and say, "Oh, Cammie, you think you cute. Oh, oh, your hair curly. Because we have not had a chance to heal all of these other traumas from slavery. So you compound that on top of everything else. Well, everything else is compounded on top of that. And it gives you a unique dynamic. And so you have to almost take all the layers off to get down to the things I'm talking about right now to really heal, and then be able to genuinely say, Cammie, you know what? Anything you need, I'm there for you. I want to help you, and mean it. Not that you want anything in return, not that you're looking for any accolades, anything, but just because you look like me and I want you to succeed.
I love it.
So, we have to get back to those things. And once we heal, then we can put all the other pieces together. As they say with Willie Lynch, it took 300 years. So how much longer is it going to take for us to unwork the damage that's been done? And so that's where our unique circumstances are. So we have to work, and just what you're doing today, you are the start of a process. Having us here with you and two women who really want to see you excel. And even in that, you brought us on your show and you said, tell us about your business. And we want to exalt each other. So again, the only thing I see is prayer and by example. And you have given a perfect example of how you support one another as Black women.
I love it. I love it.
And the thing of it is, like, the abuse was done in mass, right? The trauma and everything that was done to us as a whole group. But now is there's these little pockets like this show. There's these little we can't heal in mass. So
Right.
now we got to have more pockets, more
Right.
safe spaces to be open with each other, right? And then what are we showing our little girls? I have 3 daughters, so what am I modeling to them? Am I modeling what my mama modeled to me, or am I now changing the whole narrative and showing my babies something completely different?
I think the difference is because we can't do what mom and them did.
We better not.
We won't be here long.
No, not wise.
No. We got to do something different. I mean, you can't expect change if you're doing the exact same thing.
Right.
You just can't. And you think about it, our moms and dads, they went through a whole bunch that we didn't even realize that they were going through. And they didn't have the help, or they didn't know anything about the self-care like we're doing right now. And we didn't have where, we know our families, they didn't go to counseling.
No.
We didn't know counseling who? Oh, that's something we see on TV. People make $100 a minute. That's a joke for us. That's TV. That's not real. We didn't know that type of life. If we did, we was on social services and diagnosed this, and then they put us in the crazy house and this and that. Our vets, they didn't have the opportunity to really get healed based from the traumatization that they got in service and things like that. So they brought that home and they put that on the families that's at home. And, it's just snowball. It was just a snowball. And it goes back again to slavery, people realizing, oh, when Roots came out, when this came out, when that came out, that was already back in those days scary. But now we're smarter.
Yeah.
So we know that ain't enough. More things happen to us. I found out being here, this is one of the stops for the slave trade.
Oh, yeah.
But I've just found that out. And I'm all excited about going to this boat thing. What do y'all call it?
The Arbor Fest.
The Arbor Fest. I'm all excited about the Arbor
go
Fest. I'm like, oh, this is so cool. And then somebody said, that's not all that cool. This is where they dropped the slaves off at. And I'm like, so the whole meaning of it, either we need to let it go, make sure our kids know what we gonna do. Let it go, or make sure our children know.
Exactly.
Right. I feel like we should make sure our children know.
Absolutely.
Because you can't eradicate history. It is what it is. Even when you talk about the Holocaust, which, not to be comparative, but it was a much shorter time frame than the transatlantic slave trade. But you have to make people and your people aware, as well as community, which can be anyone of any race, but so that these things don't transpire again. Because if you know where you came from, you know where you're going.
Exactly.
So I do believe it's important to go to those things just like you did, and then someone told you, oh, okay, it's not that great. So have it presented in a way where it enlightens all. Yes,
exactly.
It's history, and it enlightens all, and so that people get an idea of what the whole process of that was for all Americans, because we are Americans. Yeah. We are Americans. No matter how people want to try to, we are Americans. So you need to know the history of all Americans.
Exactly.
Yeah. Absolutely. So now, since we're this far into the game, what can we do to help our sisters understand that everyone is not out to hurt them? We want to work together. We want to bond together. If they say sisterly love, why do they say brother, such in church, or sister in church? It's because they wanted us to be like family, right? One unit. And so why are we now, from what I've seen here at the studio, you got all these different titles of apostle, a reverend, evangelist. You got all this stuff going on, But what are they doing to help? What are they doing to help? They got those titles,
Right.
you know. So if you're not out there telling people and pulling people in and helping people, and you're just talking, that's not really helping.
No.
You have to
No.
get in the trenches, right?
You do.
You have to get
Right.
in the trenches. You got to show that you're there for someone. You have to prove that, I'm not in it for anything.
Mm-hmm.
I want to pull you up. What can I do to help you?
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
that should be the word, right? Instead, it's the with them. What's in it for me?
Oh wow.
Uh,
The with them. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what I've experienced a lot since I've been here. You know, if it's nothing in it for me, I don't want to have nothing to do with it. So
right.
it's the with them. So we got to get rid of that. We got to chop those letters off and make it, it's about you.
That's interesting. So, are you saying when you were in Texas, you didn't have those experiences?
Not like this. Not
Really?
like this. We had nonprofit, and we didn't even have our nonprofit status, and we had people donating. We had people helping. Our program was in like 5 recreation centers.
Mm-hmm.
5 people wanted us to do what we were doing for our children in their community. And this is what we did after work.
Right. But you
We
know
were
what? I will say, Kimmy, I just want to interject this real quick. It's not just Virginia. And it's very important for me to say that. And I'm glad that you have this platform because I have felt that lately, even being here in Dallas, Texas. Um, I am now getting connected more with like minded people who want to help out and are putting that effort towards
Mhm.
whatever someone else's vision is. But I am still noting a lot of people not having follow through. And when I asked about that to people that were millennials, because I in turn deal with a lot of millennials,
Mhm.
and they're like, that's Jody, kind of the way things are. When sometimes people will say they're going to get back to you, but they might just be busy and they're going to get back to you. But since I'm a Gen Xer, if you tell someone you're going to call them back, you call them back.
Yeah.
If you don't get back to them right away, you make sure to follow up with an apology and say, hey, sorry, I was going to get that to you, but I got a little bit waylaid. So here it is, whatever you needed. But it's not as much like that in this era. And I want to say, I don't want to put it on the generations because millennials get very upset and say Gen Xers are always trying to put something on
True.
them. So I
True.
don't. I don't want to say that. I just want to say that I have noticed it a lot being more prevalent in the past 5 years, ladies. I'm gonna put it that way. So it's not just you, and it's not just Virginia. So I don't want you to feel that that you're alone in this. The struggle is real, and it's. I think it might be global, but I think it's definitely stateside. So
Yeah. Yeah. It's so funny. I was talking to T Nice today, and my cousin, a male, he has sisters, and he
mhm.
invited everyone to this little Christmas dinner thing.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking, I'm far away and I was kind of homesick, and started reaching out to my family in Dallas. So that's why we got Jody here, you know. And he did all this and he broke down and he was like, it's just different. Things have changed, people have died. And so I'm like, well, you know what? Do something. Do something, get everybody, give them a reason to get together. And he did. He invited everyone to dinner, and they had dinner last night. And they called me on the phone, and phone went around to everyone, and I literally cried because it was good seeing everyone. But the fact of the matter is, some of them did come. They did come, and that probably made him feel so good because he was feeling so down. I was feeling down too, but because his mom died and his dad
Mhm.
died, And my mom's gone now, and my father died 2 years ago, right? So now he knows how it feels. He's where I'm at now without
Right.
parents. And so I guess he reached out because he know now I can relate to what he was going through. But my thing is, you got family there, just reach out.
Yeah.
Just reach out and see what happens. And hey, they did, and they were all at dinner, and it made me feel so good. It was like, you know what? So I just got on there and I posted this post and I put all my family members, extended family members. I love you all. Da 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 da. I just is all emotional. And so when I do crazy stuff like that, you know that I'm living it because I wanted
Right.
you guys to know that I love you because tomorrow's not promised,
That's right.
right?
Mhm.
And so if you're going to be someone's friend, I suggest be their friend. If you're going to support someone, support them. Be there for them because you want the same thing. You want someone to support you, you have to give. You got to give to receive.
Right.
And that's my biggest point.
Mhm.
I might not know you well. This might be our second meeting,
It is.
but I'm me. This is it.
Yeah.
You
So
know, this is
lovable.
me. This is me. And I'm not going to change. I'm not going to be ruthless just because I'm a salesperson and this and that. My God know what I'm talking about on that one. Talking about, you said you wanted that amount. No, we selling it for this amount, so it's going to be this amount. I'm not going to jump the price because it's a good sale. No,
Right.
this is this amount.
Mhm.
And that's why I'm successful because I feel like I'm honest and I'm going to do the right thing.
Mhm. Mhm.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
So y'all, I'm enjoying girl talk. Are y'all liking girl talk?
So much.
I am
Yeah.
really enjoying this.
She gifted me with a little beat.
Ah.
This studio is so nice. The bathroom is lovely. I'm just in there spraying on all kinds of smell good. That is a prime example.
So Jody, sorry you wasn't here, but
Yeah,
I
you
wanted
missed.
the ladies that were in town because it is like the last show of the year and
Right.
it's Christmas, so I wanted to give them a makeover. And our makeover girl her name is
Brooke.
Brooke. And she will be
Right.
doing the makeup for SKST Radio Podcast Studios. So when we do have Girl Talk, she'll be invited to come into Girl Talk. And I got to figure out what I'm going to do for my long distance people. Gotta figure
Okay,
out.
but I love it. Don't worry, I'm gonna get there because I thought about you when you said that, and I was like, nope. My brother, all of his kids live there. You are not alone. They all live in Virginia, and I'm gonna make sure I give you that contact information so you can
Oh, wow.
contact them. Yes, because they're there, and actually, Linda and all of them were there for Thanksgiving. I was out of the country because otherwise I would have connected you because I will say what you're saying is true, true, true. Even though a lot of the other relationships are falling off, I do see where families are really bridging and coming back together
Mhm.
because of the disconnects with everything with COVID and all of, everything else, like we talked about, people getting into altercations quickly. But
Yeah.
I do see families coming back and bonding. So I love that your cousin had that experience, and of course I liked it because I saw it on social media. But I just want you to know you are not alone. We got some Texas up there with you.
All right. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So sweet.
Okay, girls. Okay, so we're gonna take a quick break and
Okay.
then we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about our businesses a little bit. How about that?
Okay, that's perfect.
All right.
All right.
All right. If you just tuned in, you haven't tuned in too late. You tuned in to Girl Talk, and we took a quick break. Jody's back. There you are. Hey, girl, did you get you something to drink over there?
I did, I did. I was like, let me get
You got to make sure you get an SKST cup.
I know, that's it. That's what you can do for your long distance guests is you get that cup and you send it in the mail so then they can drink out of their cup while they're on
There
the
you go. We got to do that.
Perfect idea.
Perfect.
Perfect.
All right, we're gonna do that. That's gonna be part of the rules, and I'm gonna send you yours maybe next week. I ain't gonna do it before
Okay.
next week, but I'm gonna send
That's
it next Because Girl Talk is forever, right?
Yes.
You're always
Right.
welcome to be on this platform. If I've invited you, so for the audience, if I've invited you, that means you're very special. And I want you to be able to come back and talk on the topics that we're going to have. So you're always welcome. I just need to know ahead of time that you're going to come so I can give you publicity, put your name up, put your face up, put your bio on our social media platform so people know who you are and how to get in contact with you.
That's so nice.
And so
Yes.
Girl Talk is
Thank
ours. It's empowering women through conversations and understanding.
I love
Did
it.
that make sense?
I love it.
That's
Yes,
some
that does
genuine-
make sense.
Cameron for president.
There you go.
There, at least. We got to start
Right.
somewhere.
Okay, so let's
Exactly.
start, Jody. Okay, so let's tell people what are you needing for your business?
Okay,
What's going
so
on? What can the world do to help you right now?
what the world can do to help me right now at this current time. So, as I was telling you previously, we have a farm that's a Morneyberry Farm, and it's in Dallas, Texas, right on the border of Hutchins, Texas. And my great grandfather purchased this land in 1876, post Emancipation Proclamation.
We lost her. She'll be back. The Berry Farm. I've never heard of the Berry Farm.
That's precious. Even the name is precious.
Yeah.
So she's a farmer.
She inherited the farm, I believe is what's going on. And so I remember talking to her not too long ago about parking situation. I think they did something like a hayride or something on the farm. When she comes back, she'll let us know what it is. But while we waiting on her, why don't we get started with you, Rain?
Okay.
What do the world need? What can the world do for you to help you with your business?
The whole world. We
The
just
whole
start
world.
with the support.
We're worldwide, so
would be nice. Goodness, like you just said. Well, because what I do is repurpose already existing clothes. I've had people donate a lot of stuff. I got a big garbage bag in my car now. So when people donate their clothes, unlike some thrift stores that are jacking the prices up for everything, it allows me to keep the cost down because I don't have to go out and buy anything. I take everything that I get and then I, use what I have. So I really just need publicity. I need people to know that I exist. I need people to have an understanding of what refashion design is. And follow me on all my platforms. Just, I need an audience.
Yeah.
I really need an audience. I'm in a little
Hello.
Beatsbygrove.com. 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 can tell you my problems, meditating my silence. But I keep pushing my pen, rotating my stylus. Brokenness feeling like sin, now no breath, low dollar. Used to be left on red, now all the girls go holler. Now all the girls go follow. All the fake friends gon' pile up. I need peace to borrow, get that shit right back tomorrow. Somehow all the fans go bravo. Smile so much to hide my sorrows. Faith is shaky and vibrato. I can't hold a frown too long. I can't stay down too long. Look, running from pain, running from strain, running from things, running from schemes. I can't hold a frown too long. I can't stay down too long. Look, running from pain, running from strain, running from things, running from schemes. Couple things I know, couple things I show, couple things I don't. I can tell you my problems, I can tell you my sins, I can tell you my problems. I'm uncomfortable in my skin, I'm uncomfortable with my ends, I'm uncomfortable with my friends, I'm uncomfortable with my drinking, I'm uncomfortable with my thinking, I'm uncomfortable with my ways, I'm uncomfortable in this space, I'm uncomfortable on good days, I'm uncomfortable on bad days, I'm uncomfortable with my soul, I'm uncomfortable with my heart, I'm uncomfortable with myself, I'm uncomfortable with my heart, I'm uncomfortable with my thoughts, I'm uncomfortable with my feelings, and sadly I'm uncomfortable with healing. I can't hold a frown too long. I can't stay down too long. Look, running from pain, running from strain, running from things, running from schemes. I can't hold a frown too long. I can't stay down too long. Look, running from pain, running from strain, running from things, running from schemes. Tell you my problems, meditating my silence. But I keep pushing my pen, rotating my stylus. Brokenness feeling like sin, now no breath, low dollar. Used to be left on red, now all the girls go holler. Now all the girls go follow. All the fake friends gon' pile up. I need peace to borrow, get that shit right back tomorrow. Somehow all the fans go bravo. Smile so much to hide my sorrows. Faith is shaky and vibrato. I can't hold a frown too long. I can't stay down too long. Look, running from pain, running from strain, running from things, running from schemes. I can't hold a frown too long. I can't stay down too long. Look, running from pain, running from strain, running from things, running from schemes. Couple things I know, couple things I show, couple things I don't. I can tell you my problems, I can tell you my sins, I can tell you my problems. I'm uncomfortable in my skin, I'm uncomfortable with my ends, I'm uncomfortable with my friends, I'm uncomfortable with my drinking, I'm uncomfortable with my thinking, I'm uncomfortable with my ways, I'm uncomfortable in this space, I'm uncomfortable on good days, I'm uncomfortable on bad days, I'm uncomfortable with my soul, I'm uncomfortable with my heart, I'm uncomfortable with myself, I'm uncomfortable with my heart, I'm uncomfortable with my thoughts, I'm uncomfortable with my feelings, and sadly I'm uncomfortable with healing. I can't hold a frown too long. I can't stay down too long. Look, running from pain, running from strain, running from things, running from schemes. I can't hold a frown too long. I can't stay down too long. Look, running from pain, running from strain, running from things, running from